No, trust me, you have to hear me out on this one. So in the early 1900s, Carl Jung was treating one of his psychotic patients. The man was staring outside of the window, looking at the sun, and swaying his head to the left and to the right. So Carl Jung asked him what he was doing, and the patient said that he was looking at the sun's penis, and that the wind that moves the world, came from the sun's penis. So initially, Carl Jung filed that away as some psychotic rambling, but after a couple of years, Carl Jung came across an interesting book published by a man named Albrecht Dietrich. In this book was the first translation of an ancient Mithraic ritual text from ancient Greek nearly 2000 years ago. And guess what they described in the ritual? A sun god from whom a tube was hanging down, who was the source of all wind. The psychotic patient described this god almost word for word, but he had no education in ancient Greek religion or something, so there was no way that he could have encountered this image before. Yet he perfectly described it, spontaneously, in a psychotic episode. So where does this come from? Jung's answer was the collective unconscious. Not your personal unconscious, but something way deeper. A shared layer of mind that all humans can draw from. A collective mind populated with recurring images and symbols that emerge across different cultures for centuries and centuries and centuries without any contact between them. And Jung found that this collective mind can leak into the local mind through dreams, visions, and non-ordinary states of consciousness. So the sun's penis isn't a coincidence, it's literally a data point. So there is this great idealist philosopher named Bernardo Kastrup. I took this case from his book Why Materialism is Baloney. Now Bernardo Kastrup takes this even further, because he says that the brain is not a generator of consciousness, but rather a filter of consciousness. And then what we call psychosis might not just always be a malfunction, it may simply be a leak of the filter. So the filter is loosening up, and suddenly the patient isn't accessing only his own mind, but he's accessing something that predates him, a collective consciousness or a collective mind. Now, using Bernardo's brain as a filter hypothesis, what seemed to happen for Carl Jung's patient was that his filter was leaking, which caused the collective experiences to leak into his own experience, causing him to see things that happened thousands of years ago. Now, this isn't just one case. Carl Jung actually mentions multiple cases that support this collective unconscious. Now, from a materialistic perspective, this case doesn't make sense, and they will say that this was just a coincidence. But from an idealistic standpoint, which is a different philosophy, saying that everything is one big mind, of course this makes so much sense. Let me know what you thought of these theories in the comments.